The Philadelphia Eagles have invested all of these resources, years worth of draft picks for Carson Wentz. It's 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12 in the fourth quarter. You think, Doug Pederson put the ball in the kid's hands. Instead, we should have known right when we saw Alshon Jeffrey line up on Marcus Peters that it was going to be a screen. A 3rd and 12 screen. Typical Doug Pederson. This is number 3 for you, Doug. Number 3. That's it. Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles today, 27-20, and my head is scratching with Doug Pederson right now.
Well, I think that LeGarrette Blount's head is scratching too. He didn't
even get a carry.
Trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. I mean, the guy, he had 18 touchdowns last year with the Patriots. Comes here, thinks he's going to really be the lead back. Instead, doesn't even see the field. He's just sitting in Doug's doghouse the entire game. I just don't understand it. Not quite sure what the Eagles are doing. I mean, you look at these stats here, and Carson Wentz is the leading rusher on the team. Now, that should not happen. Last week, they didn't have a rush that was longer than 7 yards. This week, you have Carson Wentz as your leading rusher, and then you have old Darren Sproles getting the ball 10 times. It just doesn't make any sense. And you're trying to run the ball as Smallwood, too. Well, he ends up with 3 carries for 4 yards.
46 passes, 17 runs. Yes, they got down late. Darren Sproles was your leading carrier with 10. 10 for 48. This is exactly why we re-signed him, to get the most carries on the team. This is exactly why we brought LeGarrette Blount in here. The 3 times that he was in the game. Let's run play action with LeGarrette Blount in the game. Now that's great to run the play action once you've established a running game, but when you're not doing anything, well, that's not when you want to go play action. Isaac Seumalo, you're not starting next week. 4 sacks allowed today. What are you, Winston Justice?
Pretty close to it. I think obviously, Seumalo was a huge problem for the Eagles along that offensive line. The Chiefs just went right after him, and he fell apart, especially in the second half. He was just a turnstile, and it was not good news. So, I mean, Eagles don't have too many. I mean, they got Wisniewski.
That's where you got to go next week. That's where I'm going. I'm not trotting that kid back out there.
No.
PFF gave him like an 80+ last week. Bullshit. They don't know anything about football to give him an 80 last week. And then today he was like a 6.
Yeah, I don't think that Carson Wentz is a big fan of him either, because Carson Wentz has to run for his life. He's down on the ground getting beat up all the time. So it's just frustrating. But they've got to do something. I mean, especially watching the second half of this game, you saw that was really just a big weakness there for the Eagles.
Well, that's probably why Doug Pederson doesn't feel confident running the football up the middle. It's because with Seumalo and Kelsey, another big holding penalty today, and it's starting to get reaching the end of the line with him too. In this, I thought he was going to be gone during the offseason. He's just not a fit in this scheme. He's not big enough. And then Seumalo is just complete trash right now. So a change needs to be made.
Well, it definitely needs to be made because, honestly, the Eagles might be lucky that they're 1-1 with how many little amount of times that they've run the ball and the little amount of yards that they've got on the ground. So the fact that they're sitting here 1-1, they might be lucky. But, this is where Doug Pederson is going to have to change some things up because you're just not going to win football games. I don't care who you have at quarterback. I don't care if you have Tom Brady at quarterback. You can't just go back there every game and throw the ball. How many times did Carson end up throwing the ball?
46 times.
46 times, yeah. That's just outrageous. At some point, Carson Wentz is going to get killed. You can't just keep dropping him back there, especially when you have a guard along that offensive line is just getting beat every single play. So at some point, the Eagles, and this was a game that was actually made for them to run the ball with the big back. You're in a tight game on the road early on in the first half, a 3-3 game, and you're not pounding the ball, which they should have been.
You know what pisses me off most about this Doug Pederson play call? It wasted a defensive effort by this team. This defense balled out today. Once again. I believe it was 4 more sacks. Did they add another? I don't know if they added another.
Yeah, it was 4. I don't think they did. I think they
settled with 4.
Yeah.
So back-to-back weeks, you get 4 sacks. I mean, consistent pressure. Fletcher Cox, deep penetration once again.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal penetration, just absolutely savage.
Gotta hope his ankle's all right, because that would be a tough one there to lose him. But yeah, defensive line again, like we said, defensive line was going to be key if the Eagles wanted to have a shot in this game. And well, you know, the defensive line, they really dominated there for the entire game and gave the Eagles a shot. So yeah, tough for Schwartz in the defense, because you know, they really put forth one hell of an effort.
Yeah, I mean, he's calling all the right blitzes. Jim Schwartz is like coaching genius defense. And then you have Doug Pederson calling like pee-wee football. It's a complete joke.
It is.
This is a complete joke. LeGarrette Blount didn't have a carry today. Didn't have a carry. They didn't even try with LeGarrette Blount. I don't know what happened during the week. I don't know if he rolled one up, and I don't know. But what the – and you know another thing? Why isn't Corey Clement getting carries? Or Clement, however you say it.
He will be pretty soon.
He better be.
I mean, if they're not going to run Blount, they have to do something. They got to put, you know, Clement in there.
Smallwood ain't getting any wood.
No, I mean, I think, you know. You knew with Smallwood, he wasn't going to be a main back, and obviously he's not a guy that's really doing much right now. So they've got to find some way to run the ball. I'm hoping it's Blount, but obviously the Eagles, they have something against him, which is kind of odd. My thing with Blount is he's the type of guy that you got to get him into a rhythm, and right now they're not even giving him a shot. I mean, the guy doesn't even get a carry. How the hell can a guy get in rhythm if he doesn't even get into the game?
What did he do during the week? Did he see a stripper? I don't know. What did he do?
Obviously,
he's got to be in the doghouse for something.
Yeah.
I mean, this is unexplainable to me.
Yeah, Doug's doghouse. I don't know what the hell happened. You know, it must be down there in the basement where Howie Roseman.
Darren Sproles was your leading carrier with 10, and your second most carries was Carson Wentz with 5, I believe. Was it? Or 4? It was 4. Doug Pederson, man. Oh.
Now the Chiefs didn't run the ball much either, because the Eagles were doing a good job of stopping them. But the thing was with the Chiefs is, you know, they stuck with it, and you know, eventually Hunt was able to break free for that run, and that's kind of the thing that the Eagles have to do with Blount. All right, it may be frustrating in the beginning because, well, obviously he's going to be rusty because he hasn't been playing. But the goal is that if you keep pounding him, now he's a big guy. Eventually he's going to wear that defense down, and then he'll start breaking off runs of 10 yards, and that's what you hope for. Or maybe even break off a run of 30 yards, you know. Yeah. But if you don't have him in the game, it's not going to work. And the thing with Sproles, I mean, he's just not a guy that's supposed to be your lead running back.
No, it makes no sense.
So, but the thing that's even more confusing is that how in the world do you expect the Chiefs to bite on a play-action pass when you haven't been running the ball the entire game?
I have no idea.
They're not gonna. I mean, they're not gonna bite on that.
I am just completely baffled. Like, I'm trying to like think to myself, am I an idiot?
No, I mean,
am I stupid? Like, why am I seeing these things? I am just a guy sitting here with a camera in front of me. I don't coach NFL games.
Well,
but why am I able to see these things? What is wrong with me? Am I an idiot?
Well, I think you're smarter than Pederson. I think that's what it. No, it's
Jim Schwartz is the head coach of this football team right now, basically, the way this defense is playing.
He should be. Maybe he should be. Maybe he should take over. We might have to, Schwartz might have to personally put Doug in his own doghouse.
Philly 500 does this Doug Pederson Corleone skit, which is absolutely hilarious. That's the Doug Pederson that needs to come out. He needs, during the game today, he's chatting it up with Marcus Peters. You think the 85 Bears would allow that? Let's just chat it up with the opposing team. Oh, golly, how are you doing, Marcus? I'm doing dandy. He's chatting with the opposing team. And Wentz is just looking at him like, hey, coach, what's the play? We're in the fourth quarter here, pal.
Oh,
oh golly, jeepers.
gosh.
How are you, Marcus? Gosh,
Marcus.
What a play you made earlier today, man. Nice to see you.
Yeah, the Blunt situation is something that's very baffling, and I think it's something that obviously Pederson is probably getting a lot of questions on right now in this press conference, and something that he's going to have to be hammered away all week because, I know that anymore in the NFL it's a running back by committee type of thing for the most part. But usually there's a guy that is a lead back, and he'll get the majority of the carries. Well, right now the Eagles
back is Darren Sproles.
Yes, it really is. I mean, the Eagles don't have a system. There's no running back by committee. It's pretty much. I really think that when Doug calls the play, he pretty much just tells Carson Wentz to go out there and make magic happen. Because honestly, that's when the Eagles get the most.
It's just like Carson Wentz just calling all the plays. Doug's not even calling them.
We watch the football long enough to know that the Eagles aren't going to keep winning games if they just throw the ball every single down. You can't do that in the NFL. No. At some point, you have to establish a running game. Last week, the Eagles had a perfect opportunity to establish the running game when they should have. Now they didn't, and they got fortunate and they won the game because the defense came up big at the end of the game. And this game, it was a perfect opportunity when they were in a dogfight early in the game, 3-3. Perfect time to really run the ball, control the clock, and don't let the Chiefs' offense get on the field. Instead, they just continue to throw the football. And another thing that is really confusing, like you brought up at the beginning, why in the world do they trust Wentz every other play except 3rd and long?
I don't get it. That's a great point. Because he threw the ball 46 times. You're trusting Wentz in all of those situations. And on 3rd and 12, you'd rather call wide receiver screens and screens to your running backs. You'd rather do that than put the ball in your franchise quarterback. And, just to go on a tangent here, because, listen, it was 13-10. And the Eagles had all the momentum in the world. And then Doug did that. We were going to come on here and praise this defense. And instead, we've spent, the first 20 minutes of this show ripping Doug Pederson?
It was even it was 13-13.
13-13. Okay, that was.
And that makes it even worse.
Yeah, makes it even worse. You're right. Because I had the score wrong. My bad. 13-13.
Because it was 3rd down and long, and all you do in that situation is not make a mistake.
And the Eagles had just forced a punt, too.
Right, they did a nice job. And
the defense was balling out at this point. They had established all the momentum, the Eagles' defense. Consistent penetration from Cox. This, you're talking about the questions being hammered on Doug Pederson this week. Here's what the Eagles should have done. Hammer, deep penetration from Cox. Hammer, blunt penetration from Blunt. That's what they should have done. Unless he is hurt, unless he's out with migraines like DeShone Kizer, this is unexplainable to me. But, okay, I want to go back to the defense, man, because this is bullshit. Because we should be praising them.
Yeah.
We should be praising them. They balled out, man. I know they gave up the late touchdown. I get all that, but that's on Doug. That's on Doug. He completely fucked the whole game up. just done. It was over after that game, after that call.
Yeah, I mean,
everything was out of the balloon, and they had the momentum. You had the Jeffrey touchdown. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, you're right. I mean, it was over after Wentz threw that interception. You knew that was a game because the Chiefs just had great field position, and when they have Kelsey, I mean, like freaking jumping out of the stadium. Obviously, they're going to score a damn touchdown. But I think the one guy we got to give a lot of praise to, and I think we found our starting cornerback opposite of Mills is Rasul Douglas.
Yes. Yes. See, we should have been talking about him 5 minutes into the show, but no, we're not.
He was inactive. Last week.
Yeah, he was inactive. He was inactive.
And look what he did today.
He was unbelievable.
In Kansas City.
He was unbelievable today. That was Tyreek Hill in the slot, right? When he went up again?
Yeah.
And he batted
the pass. Yeah, third down.
He followed his instincts. He almost had the pick. I know it was a first down completion of 7 yards, but it's so encouraging that he's following his eyes and he's following his instincts, and it looks like he's developing very, very quickly. And by God, he was great today. He played better than Jalen Mills. He was the best cornerback on the field.
Well, he tackles.
And tackles. I mean, Jalen Watkins, by God, doesn't tackle. Jeez, could have gotten off the field early, but again, let's go back. Okay, so instead of praising the defense, we talked about Doug. Well, we're going to praise the defense now because, Brandon Graham balled out again today. He was a monster in the running game. Fletcher Cox, I've already talked about him. Deep penetration, just easily into the backfield. No lube needed. Then you had Vinny Curry, I thought, played well today. I thought Vinny Curry it was actually making plays in run defense, which impressed me. I thought Vinny Curry actually did okay.
Prizable, I would say.
Oh my God!
Except he really could have helped us out there on that 1 3rd down and got us off the field. Yeah. But he couldn't bring down Alex Smith. Had him by the jersey,
but that's why he's Vinny Curry.
That's why. Yeah, that's why we gave him all the money.
Yeah.
For plays like that. No, but
what a move from Howard Rosen.
Yeah, but no, Vinny Curry, he played well today. He finally, showed up after we gave him all that money. He finally sort of earned it today. One game at least.
Like they just completely obliterated the interior of the offensive line of the Chiefs with Cox and Jernigan was unbelievable. And then Kendricks, you got him flying around, and by God, this defense looks great, and I love it moving forward. And I can't wait to get to the Giants preview because Eli's shit in his pants. Jacksonville had 10 sacks in week 1. The Eagles might get maybe 12. I don't know. No, they'll maybe 8 is a realistic possibility. They've done it before, but they got to be shitting their pants. But talk about the defense, man.
Well, the defense is the reason that we're going to be in games this year. It's the reason we're going to win games, really.
This is a good team as long as Doug gets his head out of his ass. That's what it comes down to.
Well, the thing is, and now Andy Reid got cute today, but Andy Reid did a good job because his cue plays were well executed.
It's true.
Doug Pederson's cute plays, well, I don't even know if they were cute. They were just plain old stupid.
Like the 3rd and 12. By God, you knew. First thing I was like, why is Jeffrey on Peters? First thing I was like, oh, and then you see the screen, and you're just mind blown. My mind was absolutely blown. Even I didn't think he had the gall to even call a screen in that situation.
I think any type of screenplay that we have in our playbook should just
scrap it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
The wide receiver screens not working. The screens to Sproles not working. Just totally get rid of them. And for whatever reason, we only run them on 3rd and long.
There was one little moment where Doug had one moment of brilliance where he put Jeffrey on Gaines in the slot and he scored the touchdown. That was his one moment of brilliance.
Yeah.
And putting Matt Collins out there. Matt Collins should be getting more snaps because was MIA today until late.
Matt Collins is another guy that they've been keeping on the bench that should be playing. I mean, you talk about Rasul Douglas, rookie, stepped into a big situation and made some plays. You talk about Matt Collins. That's not easy. A guy that's a mid-round pick as a wide receiver, stepping in there, making some catches. So, I think that Matt Collins needs to see more time. Definitely. Aguilar was MIA until the last possible second, and then you had to celebrate because I think you should tell him.
Dude, I started Nelson Aguilar today in my fantasy football league. I started him. I had one league. I have two leagues, and I have Alshon Jeffrey in both leagues. And I decided to start Nelson Aguilar over Alshon Jeffrey in one league because I was like, fuck it. He's against Phillip Gaines. I thought Nelson Aguilar was actually going to do well today. He even fooled me in week 1. He fooled me. He got me. Got me once, shame on me. He ain't going to get me again now.
You were happy because that was
a big fucking touchdown for me.
You needed that touchdown badly.
He had a goose egg.
He had a goose egg until the very end there. But
I jumped off the couch and celebrated. Yeah. It's great.
Oh man!
I was like, because we're talking about it the whole last drive.
Yeah,
we're like, dude, he's here. He is. He's gonna score garbage time, and then it fucking happens.
It happened somehow. But yeah, that's why. Matt Collins has to see more time because, I think Aguilar, he's still the same Aguilar. So I think, Matt Collins is definitely a good option. So we'll see. But, I mean, who knows what the offense and the play calling anymore.
Well, Alshon Jeffrey played well today. So you got to give him credit. And again, it was like, dude, that was the drive where that was that statement drive. What was that? I'm trying to remember. Did that tie the game at 13? Yes.
No, that was probably the drive where they.
See, I already forget. See, I'm so pissed at Doug. I don't even remember what happened in the game. Let's see. Let's clear our heads, Mike.
Good. Well, KC came back right after and scored a touchdown. So. It was probably when it's when we went up. We went up
10-6. Oh, my God. That was that long ago.
Because then that's when, after that, the Chiefs came back and Hunt had ripped off that big touchdown run.
Because you had Alshon Jeffrey starting to take over the game, and they called the screen. So that was – so the turnover is like right. When was that? Early in fourth quarter?
The turnover was after we stopped them because it was 13-13. Douglas made that play on third down. We stopped them, and then we were backed up. We had bad field position.
Yeah.
And then that's when we.
So it was like, who cares? All right. And let's see so Kareem Hunt at the end of the day goes for 13 for 81. So the Eagles pretty much held him in check until late. I mean, you had that. So they calculated it as a 53-yard run, and that's what I did initially, and then it was like, James, that's crazy. So he had that 53-yard run, and he had the other touchdown, which is like crazy how he got in there. But so he wound up having a big day at the end. But like Travis Kelce was the one that they couldn't stop.
Yeah,
and it's another reason why the pressure was able to get to Smith today was like. The Kansas City receivers, besides Tyreek Hill, there's not really much there. I mean, Chris Conley's okay. I mean, they got some okay guys, but not like anything that scares you. Like Travis Kelce is their main target, and he's the guy that I was most concerned with coming into the game offensively. And Jalen Watkins was on him earlier for some reason. I don't know what the hell that was all about.
I mean. It's like Jalen Watkins. It's one of those things. It's like, why the hell is he even on the damn team? And here he is. One of the first plays of the game. He's on Travis Kelce. And
we got guys like Rasul Douglas inactive last week.
I was like, well, if this is our game plan against Travis Kelce, then we might as well just pack up and go home right now. I mean, that would have been a horrible game plan. But maybe it was a blessing that Jalen Watkins got hurt because. I'll tell you what, we have Rasul Douglas now. We don't have to worry about that. I think that, Swartz is smart enough to know that you got to put Douglas in there.
Jalen Watkins' experiment's done.
Yeah, Jalen Watkins. Maybe they can do the Phantom IR like they did with Pumphrey. So.
Oh. All right, I'll ask you about that. Because we only do a show once a week now. Pumphrey on Irish. So, I talked about this earlier in the week, Pumphrey. You had all those running backs you could have taken. And you took Donnell Pumphrey. What do you think about that?
It's tough to tell because I don't want to.
It's a good point. Yeah, because
you can't really give up on Pumphrey after one preseason. When I watched Pumphrey in the preseason, I saw it kind of differently because I think that what he's doing is he's just waiting too long to make his move. You see that he's got that athletic ability, but he's not. He's waiting too long. He's 1 second too late. Yeah. So I think once he fixes that, I think he'll be all right. But he's not going to be. Yeah, he's not going to be like a Kareem Hunt or anything like that. No. He's going to be more like a Sproles type of guy if anything. But yeah, I mean,
if he's lucky,
right?
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
Exactly. If he's lucky, yeah. I mean, it's tough because. Even the Eagles, they, said themselves that there are so many running backs in this class, and then that's the one that they
took.
I think, they got into a situation where they waited too long.
That's true too. They probably wanted Hunt, and
they did, but
he went early in the third.
They also wanted I think they really wanted Dalvin Cook, and I think they thought they had a shot at him, but it looked like the Vikings were asking too much for the Eagles to make a move up and get him. So, I mean, it's tough. And now it's even tougher because of the whole situation that we have here at running back. I mean, if they're not even using Blunt, then we don't have him. I mean, there's no running game. I mean, Smallwood is not the guy. He's also a very questionable pick. I knew that once I drafted him that he was never going to
the draft picks since LaShawn McCoy have not been good.
Yeah. So obviously you would think that next year is the year that they
this is going to be the year that breaks the trend of because everyone keeps telling me, well, the Eagles never draft a running back in the first round. Well, guess what? They're going to.
They're going to have to. Yeah.
They're going to this year. Calling it right now. And it's not really a bold prediction, to be honest with you. It's pretty much self-explanatory.
It is because you just look everywhere else on the field.
You cannot go through games with Darren Sproles as your leading ball carrier each game, can you?
No. Well, I mean, you look at it, and what is Wentz really missing? Well, he's Dak. What does he have? He's got Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. At least we got a franchise.
And he's got Des Bryant, and he's got Jason Witten.
Yeah.
So, what does Wentz have? Now he's got Alshon, but now he needs to have a running back that can be that main guy and get 100 yards a game. Yeah. Jesus Christ, 100 yards seems like freaking 1,000 yards at this point. I might be happy with 50 yards.
The reason why we're so pissed is think about it. Taking a reflection on this, in hindsight, we didn't think the Eagles were going to win this game. We had them losing by a touchdown. Well, I had them losing by a touchdown. Yeah. I don't know what you had.
No, I thought they were going to lose by a touchdown, 10 points. Yeah.
But what makes it so frustrating
is
they could have won the game.
They could have won.
And they had a shot. They had a legitimate shot at winning this game. The defense was playing that well and shutting the Chiefs down at that point, the way it was going.
But the issue we were going to run into, though, I think it's better it ended the way it did because we could have ran into a situation where it was a tie game at the very end, and then
Jake
Elliott,
the ghost of Alex Henry, just haunts us.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's better it ended the way it did.
The fact that we went through the show without talking about him,
and that's a concern moving forward. That's a big concern. Now we always ripped on Sturgis. And I mean, maybe it's haunting us now, but the Eagles are in a bad situation.
We hate Caleb, and we miss Caleb.
Yeah, now we miss him. I don't know. Maybe these kickers, man, they're such head cases. They miss one, it messes with their head. But 30-yard field goal. This is the NFL, man. Anything 30 or below should be they automatic. 98% should make that. But we'll see what they do. I mean, do they dare try to go out there again and find someone else?
You put someone on the practice squad, like, and just have two guys. Like, I don't know.
Good.
Because I'll tell you what. Now, if I remember correctly, Caleb Sturgis' first kick was missed.
He did miss
against
it.
the Redskins,
and then he bounced.
And I wanted him cut on the spot. And I was saying the same thing today about Jake Elliott. Cut on the spot, like gone. But
you're
maybe he'll
right.
turn it around.
And if we remember correctly, Parkey missed a key kick too. In the beginning, remember the Saints game?
I'm trying to remember.
He missed
Colts.
Was it the
Colts? Wasn't it? Oh no, we beat the Colts. Fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah, but
Atlanta. It was Atlanta.
Atlanta game. Yeah.
Atlanta. Jeez, how could we forget? Atlanta. It's funny because I did the flashback today on the 2005 game. They had Todd France as their kicker. And this was a great point that was brought up by one of our commenters, Alberto, by the way. So Alberto's a smart guy. He comments on our videos all the time. So and he made this point. This is just like today. In real life. In that game against the Chiefs in 2005, Todd France missed an extra point. And I think that was his first kick.
Okay.
So, it's crazy. Like I guess the nerves, I don't know. They really bother you that much. And he looks like, dude, remember we thought Alex Henry was small? This guy looks like less than Pumphrey. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Jake Elliott and Donnell Pumphrey are going to get into these, little chicken fights during practice. Little chicken fights.
He looks like Elliott Troy Parks a little bit.
Elliott Troll Parks.
Yeah.
Everyone gets suckered in by his clickbait. Fucking, you guys all feed into his game. You guys do exactly what he wants you to do.
Yeah.
Don't fall into the trap. So we talked about Kendricks. We talked about pretty much everybody, right? I mean, Jalen Mills was playing good for the most part until that Conley reception late. He was playing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're at the point where you know what you're getting from Jalen Mills. Yeah. He's not going to do anything that's going to really make you jump off your seat, but he's going to go out there and play a decent game. So, really, that's all they're going to ask him to do, just go out and play like he did today and play like he did last week. He's not going to ever go out there and shut anyone down. So I think that's why when the Darby injury happened, we were definitely worried because with the depth at the cornerback position. But it really helped that Rasul Douglas was able to play like that today because
it's developing quickly right in front of our eyes.
That's that's going to be a key component for them because
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, if he can play like that and kind of hold up here until we get Darby back, and then we'll see what happens later in the season with Sidney Jones. I'm
not playing him.
I think they're gonna. I think it depends though. I think if they're in the playoff hunt, I think they might try if he's close to 100%.
If they're dire, I think I wouldn't do it.
It's risky.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
the Eagles actually. The funny thing is they're pretty good, with the injuries, because they've actually had the least amount of injuries in the NFL in the last 3 years, whatever it is. So something I want.
Well, we forgot about McLeod getting hurt.
Yeah, there are two things that I forgot to talk about. You bring that up, McLeod, a hamstring injury, so that's big if that happens because Watkins was also hurt. So Corey Graham's going to be your starting safety, and you're going to have to bring up maybe someone from the practice squad.
Very concerning.
Yeah.
Somehow they held up with him when he went out, but that's a pretty big drop off there if he's not able to play. I mean, those hamstring things, you hope that
those things linger.
They linger, yeah. You just hope that he didn't
really. He's not going to be a full
tear it.
He's not going to be full 100% for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that happened. Sean McCoy always had this shit happen to him, the hamstring injuries. because he makes it wiggle so much.
The
And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, dude, so my first instincts when I watched the Trey Burton onside kick was, why didn't he return that for a touchdown? Like I understand like his first instinct was to jump on the ball, but then further clarification of the rule, he was not able to return it for a touchdown, which I believe is correct.
I believe so. I believe you can't return it for a touchdown. I think you would probably get the ball at like
wherever it was,
wherever
it was touched or whatever.
I guess, yeah. But
I don't know the rules, so maybe somebody has to clarify in our comments section, because we're not looking at the comments right now when we're doing this on our laptop.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't think he could have returned it for a touchdown. And then obviously, you get a shot there with a Hail Mary. Actually, it was a pretty decent pass by Wentz on the Hail Mary.
They had a shot at it.
They did have a shot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like one of those situations where you just, almost have Alshon Jeffrey like try to jump on top of somebody. It just and get the ball. But yeah, I mean, the Chiefs did what you do there. You knock it down. I mean, they actually batted it backwards, which maybe it wasn't the best idea because if someone was a back there, they could have caught it. But it got the job.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Fantasy garbage time for no snag, Lord.
It got the job done. So tough one. We're 1-1. I think this is where we expect it to be.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, we're where we're supposed to be. But it's like it's frustrating because it could have been
better.
It could have been, and it's like Doug Pederson scares me moving forward. He hasn't changed at all. You have weapons for Carson Wentz. You have a franchise quarterback, and you're still doing this shit on third down.
It all comes down to division games.
Yeah.
So that's why next week is crucial. Yeah.
I'm not even sweating the Giants, to be honest with you.
You can't overlook them.
I am overlooking them. I'm completely overlooking them. We are going to maul Eli Manning into submission. Odell Beckham is actually going to shit all over us, but we're going to get the man.
Let's see. You never know with his ankle though. We'll see if he plays on Monday night.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. There's nothing that we haven't talked about. So Patrick Robinson was just kind of okay, but Rasul Douglas was taking his snaps. And on the other side, talked about Kelsey. And Kareem Hunt is 13 for 81. Alex Smith was, that was a big throw to Conley.
Mm-hmm.
So he was pretty surgical, 21 of 28, 251 yards and a touchdown. So he played pretty well again. So everyone in Kansas City wanted Patrick Mahomes in the preseason, and Alex Smith's lighting it up. So we could just talk about him for like a minute, then we'll do final thoughts.
I think that was just a typical Alex Smith game.
That was a great throw.
That was,
Conley,
that iced the game. So helmet throw there. But yeah, I mean, it was a typical Alex Smith game. I thought the key though was when the Eagles really started getting that pressure on there towards the end of the first half, and then in the third quarter. That's when you really thought the Eagles might have a shot in this game because they kind of were starting to, change the momentum with that pressure on Alex Smith. And it will be interesting to see if he has to go through that concussion protocol this week.
Conspiracy. He looked dazed. He couldn't walk straight. Get him in the tent. Put Mahomes in there.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, like that deer in headlights glassy look like Bradford always had.
He was able to stay in there, though.
Yeah, so, I'll tell you what, I don't want to, like, rip into my fan base because I don't want to do that. But, like, I think our fan base definitely overlooked the Chiefs coming into this week. Because, a lot of people were bitching at me that I was picking the Chiefs.
I mean, I didn't expect to win this game at all. I mean, I think when the schedule came out, I think everybody looked at this game and said, in Kansas City, tough place to play. I mean, you're not going to win there too often. So, I will say,
people were telling me to have faith.
It's encouraging.
It's very encouraging
that we were able to stick around with them in a tough environment.
Yes,
because. Flip the script, say it was a home game for us and we were playing the Chiefs, I would say we might have won that game.
Well, if we play the Chiefs at home, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Because like playing an Arrowhead, that is a freaking task.
Yeah.
That is a huge task. Win there.
So it's good to see that we were able to go into an environment like that and stay close, really, for most of the game until the end when the Chiefs got those late touchdowns. But yeah, I think it's encouraging going forward. It'll be little kind of a tough stretch of games coming up for us. A little.
You want to dive into that just real quick, or are you?
No, I mean I'm just saying, going forward.
What are they?
Well, you got the Giants, and then you got to go play the Chargers in LA. Now, for me, that Chargers game is key because I think they got to win that. I think if they can beat the Giants and then you beat the Chargers, I think you set yourself up nicely because you figure Cardinals and Panthers, you're losing one of those.
Yeah, don't beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't look as good as I thought.
And Carolina is always tough.
And Carolina, they'll probably lose, but the Cardinals will probably beat. I don't think they're going to beat the Chargers, but we'll see. But the Giants, I think we're going to beat, and it's going to be 3-3, and then they're going to be 3-3, but then you got these three, Redskins, 49ers at home. You'd think they win those, and then that. Ooh. They can get riding some momentum heading into Dallas.
That's why they're gonna be around.
They gotta win this.
They're gonna be around.
That Chargers game is a coin flip, and they gotta win that. But I think
that's why. Yeah, I think that's why the Chargers game is key because it's a coin flip that if they can get that to go their way, then they're in good shape. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts. What do you want to say?
Just stupid Pederson, stupid shit, silly stuff. Probably, had a chance in this game, but it's a turnovers. You get the Sproles turnover at the end of the first half. There was a tough one because it's tough to put on Sproles. He never fumbles, man, but he fumbled in a bad spot, and those 3 points, I kind of thought that it was going to be 3 points that we were chasing the whole entire game.
Yeah.
And it almost ended up being like that. But then the Chiefs scored it twice late to really kind of take control. But, yeah, tough one there. Turnovers in Arrowhead. Silly play calling by Pederson, hard to overcome.
Yeah. We kind of went through the whole show without talking about Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I mean,
we just kind of got what we expected from him. I mean, he did hold on to the ball too long at some spots, but it's still coming along with him. But we're seeing so many great glimpses. So I'm not gonna bitch about my franchise quarterback. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, what was the final? I forgot. I went off the page. Final stat line wasn't great. I mean, 20. Well, in terms of completion percentage, but he was harassed a lot because Sam Miles sucked. Actually, we didn't really get into Sam Miles that much either, although I did eviscerate him. 25 of 46, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So the yards look great, but the completion percentage could have been better. There were throws he missed. Forrest Smith did have some drops. So there you go. All right, that pretty much wraps it up. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. I got nothing.
We needed to be, pretty much perfect today, close to it, and I think that coming into the game, I was going to say we needed to bring probably a B plus, A minus type performance to come out with the victory in this game. And I think what it came down to is we were on the C plus, B minus type of area, and that's not going to win you a game in Arrowhead.
Well, they were playing like a B to a B plus until Doug just dunce. Yeah. I'll close on this. So I'm starting a show, obviously, as you guys know, with Philly 500. So that show starts tomorrow. We're starting a show. It's called Bitter Dingbats. We're the Bitter Dingbats, and I cannot wait because I'm sure Philly 500 is just as pissed as I am about Doug Pederson. That's why I talked about Doug Pederson, Corleone. I'll have to show you this clip. This guy is hilarious, and you're about to watch him for the first time.
Peace.